Good evening, KU.
I'm Nathaniel Duncan.
And I'm Tristan Allen. So, late night. That was pretty crazy.
That was something. I didn't go because last year I didn't have a really good experience with the waiting for everything. But I heard this year it was a lot quicker in some aspects, especially doing basketball before entertainment, which I think was more important because that's, I think, what people show up for, really. But I guess people show up for Snoop Dogg, too, and you went, right?
Yeah, I went, and boy, that Snoop Dogg performance definitely was something. Now, if you haven't heard, that's definitely stirred up a lot of controversy. KU issued an apology for the show. Snoop Dogg recently came out in defense of the show saying, if you pay for Snoop, you're going to get Snoop. But some of those KU coaches, they are still not they're still refusing to comment on that show.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what he's saying because you can't really expect what Snoop. I mean, you can expect somewhat, but I don't think anyone's really expecting to see what he brought out, really.
Yeah.
But I think people might not. They might underestimate him and what he can bring to a show.
Yeah, I don't think people were expecting Snoop to bring out pole dancers and money guns to a basketball performance. But
yeah, well, that was definitely a highlight of the weekend. I saw Joker this weekend too.
Oh,
that was a big highlight of the weekend.
The societies we live in, it's been insane. The people have been saying this Joker movie is a really good movie. I've seen Joker 2. It's a really good movie.
It's highly recommended.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Really good movie. Joaquin Phoenix, he plays the Joker this time around. He's a pretty good Joker. I still think Heath Ledger's the better Joker from The Dark Knight, but
they're both really good though.
Yeah.
They're both very good.
Yeah.
So are you catching up on midterms lately?
Yeah, I've had a midterm just earlier today in my intro to agency class. That's the advertising class. I think I did okay on it. Didn't you have a midterm today?
Yeah. Oh, I had the one yesterday in the history of rock and roll. I got a very good grade on it, so I'm very happy with that. Missed kind of a simple question, but you know what? You just got to roll with it sometimes. I got an A, so that's all that matters, I guess, really.
Get that A.
Yeah.
Don't, just move on.
Yeah, let's just move on. So any plans for fall break?
I currently do not have any plans for fall break. I might go home and see my family one day, but other than that, I think I'm just going to be chilling up here in Lawrence. What about you? What are you doing?
Well, hopefully if the Cardinals keep their lead today, they're up 11-0 in the top of the second right now against Atlanta. So hopefully I'll be going to the game in St. Louis this weekend. I'm also going to Mizzou's homecoming this weekend. Sorry about any Jayhawk fans that still have any hard feelings about Mizzou. But, yeah, I'm going up there. That's where my parents went, and it's always fun to go to homecoming up there.
That sounds
Anywhere, really, to go to homecoming is fun.
Yeah, that sounds like a very action-packed weekend, fall break you have. Yeah. I don't know. I hope I get to see my dogs this weekend, but we're still, my family and I are still talking about what we're going to do. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's plenty of time to do stuff over fall break. It's a nice little break in between.
It's a nice little break after your midterms. Yeah.
Well, I think that's about all we got. So we have 2 interviews coming up, and we have news after that.
For students searching for a way to stay active in an outdoorsy way, the City of Lawrence has bike trails running in every direction, and with the new bike share program, we can stay in shape as we tour the sights of our beautiful city. Clinton Lake is only a short 30-minute bike ride away from Daisy Hill and has the most incredible sunset location in all of Lawrence. Walking campus may give you the KU calves, but biking can give you the KU thighs. Bike Lawrence today.
Welcome back. I'm here with Steve Rottinghaus, who's the Career and Outreach Coordinator at the University of Kansas School of Journalism, and he's here to talk to us a little bit about the upcoming career fair. So, Steve, if you could just give us a little brief description on what the career fair is.
Yeah, the career fair is a great event for students, regardless of what school you're here at KU. I mean, it does have a journalism focus to it, but all students are welcome, freshmen through seniors. And it's going to be in a couple of weeks, October 24th at the Adams Alumni Center. And it's a great way for students just to learn more about internship, job opportunities. We're going to have about 25 alums from all over the country back just to talk about the opportunities they have at their places of employment.
Nice. So you said it's for all grades, freshmen through seniors. I'm a sophomore. Do you think it would be beneficial for me to go check it out?
Yeah, I think a sophomore is a great time to go, even if you don't think it's the right time to find like an internship or job. The main thing is you should learn about the opportunities. I mean, these companies, they want to learn about what your interests are, and then maybe follow up with them next spring or the following year, and you can say, hey, I met you at the fall 2019 career fair, and you know, I'm really intrigued by what you had to say, and now I think the timing's right for me to pursue an actual internship or job. So yeah, a sophomore, you're definitely more than welcome, and you'll get a lot out of it.
Cool, cool. And is it solely based on for journalism students, or is it kind of for business students? You know, like
We do have business students come over, film studies students. We have a pretty good mix of like strat-com type industries and also news and information. So we're going to have TV stations from Kansas City, Topeka, and probably Wichita. We have ad agencies. They're looking for writers, creative, account managers. So yeah, it's got a journalism focus to it, but it definitely, any student is welcome to attend.
Right. And what kind of attire should the students wear if they decide to go to the career fair?
I mean, treat it like it could lead to an actual job. I'm not the most stylish guy, but if I'm a guy at the career fair, I'm probably wearing a tie, a collared shirt. You know, you don't want to show up in pajama bottoms or sweatpants, a hooded jacket or anything like that. I mean, really dress professionally. I mean, think about this could lead to an actual job.
Yeah. So this career fair could be a really cool thing. When did you say it was again?
It's going to be October 24th, so we're talking 2 weeks from tomorrow, 1 to 4 p.m. at the Adams Alumni Center. And a unique thing about this career fair, we've combined it with our J-School Generations. Every time we have J-School Generations, we've done it for 7 or 8 years, we always hear back from students, hey, we want to network more with our alums. So we've created kind of this networking room where students can hang out with alums, learn more about the profession, and just kind of have a casual conversation. Then after the career fair from 4:30 to 6, we're going to do J-School Jeopardy, and we're also going to have a Pop-A-Shot basketball tournament, which should be super fun. And then the alums are going to go to the KU basketball game. It's actually the first exhibition game that night against Fort Hays State. So it's a great networking event, and then students who come to our networking event, they can enter their name in a raffle, and if they don't have a KU basketball ticket, they have a chance to win one. So we hope that's an incentive enough for students to come and get to meet these alums, because they do want to meet these Jayhawks and help launch their career.
Right, that sounds awesome. So is it the alumni are kind of the ones promoting the job opportunities, or do you get people to come out from outside jobs and come to talk about it?
It's going to be a combination. I think when I looked at the latest list, we have probably 10 to 12 alums that will be representing their companies. So there will be a strong Jayhawk base there promoting jobs and internships. But then we have a lot of non-KU grads that are just, you know, recruiting reps, managers. You know, they'll be ready to review resumes and just talk to you about the opportunities at their place.
All right, nice. And so are these jobs going to be based in kind of the Kansas City area, or can they expand, you know, to the nearby states?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're going to have business from Kansas City, Topeka, Wichita. We do have one company, as Tracy Locke out of Dallas, and they've got offices throughout the country. And even the ones from Kansas City, they have offices elsewhere too. So that'd be a good question to ask if you're at the career fair.
Right.
You know, ask them, hey, I know you're based in Kansas City. Do you have offices elsewhere?
Right.
I also encourage students to do a little bit of research before the career fair to learn more about the company and what they have to offer. And then you can kind of get a good sense about, you know, where they are located and just the opportunities that do exist.
Nice, nice. Because, yeah, I'm from California personally, so I was just curious on if I showed up, if it would be beneficial for me if all these jobs are based in this area. So that's good to hear that they're kind of expanding.
But like I said, I mean, a lot of these companies, they have contacts to elsewhere, you know, so if you do want to return at Los Angeles, they can make that happen, or they can give you a card and say, hey, you might want to contact this person. So that potential does exist.
Yeah. So, yeah, that all sounds great. Not just for journalism students, they can careers for everybody, really, business, anybody. What about like any science jobs, like chemistry, biology?
It'd probably be tough for that. I mean, a lot of these organizations are looking for that great communicator, great storyteller, data analytics, account manager, social, like anything with social media related. So yeah, the sciences, it might be tough. I mean, it's got to have some sort of communication, storytelling component to it, marketing, again, analytics.
Cool. Yeah, that all sounds good. I think that might be it. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
From adversity, we rose. We made history and became pioneers, voyagers, champions, Jayhawks. And when our chant rises, haunting and hallowed. Jayhawks are telling the world what's near. Victory.
Welcome back. Our next guest is Emma Schmidt. She is one of the co-presidents of the Japan Student Association. Welcome, Emma.
Thank you, Chihiro. It's nice to be here. I'm really excited to get to talk about my organization with you guys.
So, what are some of the benefits of being a part of the Japan Student Association?
I would say the biggest benefit for people who are looking to join is just the opportunities that you get to meet international students and forge connections that you might not get to otherwise. And it's a really great opportunity to practice conversational Japanese outside of a classroom setting.
Which is different from the Japanese you might learn in textbooks.
Yeah, absolutely.
How?
So in Japanese, there's two different ways of speaking, very formally and then very informally. And in the classroom, you don't really have a chance to practice that casual sort of friend talk. So JSA for me was the best way to improve my more casual speech.
And some of the alumni have gone on to study abroad in Japan or work in Japan, is that correct?
Yeah, actually a lot of our former members and people who have graduated from JSA have gone on to teach English and work some various other interpretation jobs through the JET program. So it's pretty cool to be able to look and see people who, you used to be, doing club activities with, who are now doing really awesome work in Japan.
And what are some of the fun episodes that come with, making friends from Japan who've never lived in the United States before?
The cultural differences are pretty fun a lot of the time, actually. Things just that you would never think of that are different in other places. And it goes both ways, so sometimes we will be the ones who are sort of surprised by something the Japanese students do and vice versa. So it can be pretty funny to be like, what, you guys do this? You guys don't? It's pretty fun.
Any particular anecdotes that are family friendly?
Oh, well, let's see. I guess I never noticed, or I never knew before I was cooking with some of my Japanese friends that a lot of Japanese people will gargle water when they wash their hands. So the first time I saw this, I was like, hello, what are you doing? They're like, what do you mean? This is normal? So it's pretty fun to just kind of look at each other like, what's going on?
Any particular Japanese phrases that you think we should take away from today?
Well, I'm a bit a little stressed at this point, so I was thinking maybe if you want to wish your friend good luck or hard work, 今日も頑張ってください.
今日も頑張ってください.
To wish your friend good luck again today.
Honestly, with midterms and fall break coming up, it's not exactly the easiest time, but it's still worth being part of a student organization on top of classes and things like that?
Absolutely. Even though my time is really split up between a lot of things, I love to give as much time as possible to the Japan Student Association. It's really my sort of outlet to, enjoy a part of campus and not be like super stressed.
Now, do you have to be Japanese, or do you have to have Japanese ancestry at all to be a part of JSA?
Absolutely not. As you can probably guess by looking at me, I do not have any Japanese heritage. However, our organization is very much encouraged to have a blend of both students from Japan and students from here who are studying the language.
Now, has the JSA influenced you to maybe want to study abroad soon?
Yes, absolutely. Actually, next semester I'm going to be going to JF Oberlin University in Tokyo.
Oh.
And I've had the opportunity through JSA to already have made friends who go to this university.
So it's going to be a really easy transition. It's not going to come with some of the hiccups or cultural nervousness that usually accompanies someone who studies abroad to a completely different country.
I would hope so, yeah. I'm thinking that already having some friends and being familiar will make it feel more like home right away.
Oh, any particular things like food or activities that you're looking forward to when you get there?
Yeah, absolutely. I've gotten so many recommendations from my friends from around Tokyo of, oh, you have to do this, have to do that. I think maybe the thing I'm looking forward to most, though, would be to visit Disney Tokyo. I've never been to Disneyland in America, but I know that everybody is such a fan of the Disney park in Tokyo.
I have been to Disney in Tokyo. And let me tell you, sometimes the best day to go is when it rains.
Yeah, because there's not so many people.
That too, but also the janitors have been trained to draw with rainwater that they collect in buckets. So only on days it rains can you go around the park and you will see half evaporated or fully drawn Mickeys or Goofies, but you never know where they're gonna pop up and they're temporary. So you have to keep your eye out as you're trying to go from ride to ride. It's part of the atmosphere that I think makes that particular Disneyland really cool.
I've never heard that actually. I'm really glad that you mentioned that. I'll keep an eye out for that if I get a chance to go.
A little tidbit there.
Awesome.
In case you feel like leaving Kansas at all.
Yeah, of
it
course.
seems like one of the best outlets to do that is through Japan Student Association.
Yes.
So would you say you recommend it to everyone who's watching?
Yeah, absolutely. Even if you haven't had any formal classroom training as far as speaking Japanese goes, we encourage everybody who even has an interest to come, and it's a really, really good opportunity to get your feet wet in the language and the culture without being stressed or feeling like, oh, I'm so embarrassed, I've never studied or anything like that. It's a really safe environment to get started.
And simple phrases like hello and how do I get somewhere might come in handy, especially since Tokyo is going to host the 2020 Olympics.
Yes, yeah, that's
in summer break.
That's going to be the time when I'm there, actually.
You're going to be there during the Olympics?
Yes, because I will be there. Their spring semester goes through July, so I'll be there during the summer. It's going to be interesting to see the changes that the city goes through.
Wow. Oh, so I guess we're going to wrap up pretty soon. So thank you so much, Emma, for coming.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I hope if you all are interested in JSA, you'll check the website out and maybe give Emma a holler if you see her on campus.
ありがとうございました。
どういたしまして。
Welcome back. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Ethan. This is your International Good Evening KU News Update. Basketball fans in China may lose out after the government canceled plans to air 2 NBA exhibition games after a social media message supported the Hong Kong protesters. Houston Rockets owner Daryl Morey tweeted this message on Friday in support of the protests, which have been ongoing for the past 18 weeks. Under pressure, many Chinese celebrities have stated that they will no longer participate in the current NBA events.
Adobe has shuttered Photoshop and other Adobe software products in Venezuela. President Donald Trump banned virtually all the trade with the South American country to increase pressure on President Nicolas Maduro to step down. The United States has frozen all Venezuelan government assets with the U.S. and has banned all international transactions.
Scientists are warning that the glacier on the tallest mountain in Europe could collapse at any moment. A glacier on the Italian side of the Mont Blanc is breaking apart far more quickly than expected and posing a serious risk for people who live in its shadow.
The 4 Hispanic victims who died in the bar shooting on Kansas City on Monday were officially identified. 2 were Mexican nationals. The shooting left 4 dead and 5 injured. One of the shooters was arrested Sunday for another one of its and the other one is still on a run and considered armed and dangerous. Police are looking for 29-year-old Hugo Villanueva Morales.
In sports, the West African Football Cup of Nations tournament continues this week. Ghana defeated the Ivory Coast 3-1 yesterday, while Cape Verde Islands beat Gambia 1-0. Today's matches are Liberia take on Guinea and Senegal faces Mali.
The IAAF Track and Field World Champions concluded this week with a 4x4 100-meter relays. The United States won both the men's and women's events with the world best times. Poland and Jamaica earned silver and bronze for the women, while Jamaica and Belgium made it for the podium for the men.
And that will wrap it up for today's International News Update. Please keep watching, and after the break, Adrian will tell us about the weather.
You may not hear it at first, but it's there. Our chant, rising. On On this summit, callings converge, voices unify into a chorus that sounds out for good, for greatness. Can you hear it?
Hello and welcome back to Good Evening KU. I'm Adrian Campa here with your weather forecast. Now currently we have a temperature of 62 degrees. It's warmed up a bit since earlier where we had a whole bunch of rain and really cloudy conditions, but right now the clouds have kind of broken up. It's still mostly cloudy and there are some pretty gusty winds out from the southeast at over 30 miles an hour. Now for this evening, the trend should continue. Clouds should start to continue to break up but still be pretty cloudy, but we're not going to get down into the 50s like we did yesterday at around 9 p.m. Our temperatures should remain pretty constant and so should our winds from the southeast at 10 to 15 miles an hour, and gusts could easily be over 20 miles an hour this evening. Now for tonight, we're expecting a low temperature of 60 degrees, thunderstorms after midnight, I'm thinking after 2, 3 a.m., and there is a 50% chance of that. Winds continuing out of the southeast at 10 to 15 miles an hour, and gusts will be over 20 miles an hour. Now tomorrow, this is when things are starting to change. A big change in the weather pattern is coming because winter is coming. Now judging from this temperature, you couldn't tell that with the high temperature of 76 degrees, but scattered thunderstorms will be moving in along a cold front, and with that we could actually see some severe storms. Damaging winds, large hail, and an isolated tornado will be possible. And again, we're going to continue the trend with the gusty winds, but they'll be even gustier tomorrow with 25 to 35 plus possible, potentially over 45 miles an hour as that front gets closer. And there is that 60% chance of precipitation. Now, this is the approaching cold front I was talking about. This will be tomorrow between 4 to 8 p.m. Now, these little black lines right here, these are isobars, and those are, the closer those lines are, the stronger the wind gust will be. So this is why tomorrow it's going to be pretty significant winds, but also if you notice the big difference in color on this map, ahead of the front where we will be, this little Jayhawk right here, we'll be in the mid to upper 70s, and behind the front you can see that very strong blast of cold air where temperatures will be in the 20s to 30s. So as this front approaches, we'll warm up quite a bit, but as soon as it passes, our temperatures will begin to drop pretty rapidly, and Friday morning we should have temperatures in the low 30s with wind chills in the 20s. So bust out those winter coats because winter will be here. Now for extended forecast, as you can see, tomorrow 76, but then that low for 35 degrees, about a 40-degree difference, and then Friday for only 46 degrees, and then low of 31 degrees. So this trend is going to continue, and I'll step off to give a full screen. Now after tomorrow though, it's going to be cold for a couple of days, but then we're going to start to rebound and be in more of a fall-like weather pattern. So if you're not looking forward to this little mini winter blast this weekend, just wait, it'll pass, and we'll warm back up to fall average-like temperatures. Well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.